Good morning, everyone. I think the two first presentations are very exciting. I think I can add some of our view on what's going on for the future. I think what we are doing now is most exciting. I've been with the car industry for 30 years. What we're doing now is the most exciting thing I've experienced so far, and it's going to take us into the future. Even though I agree with Rupert that the future is already here, we have to expand it. I was going to crack a couple of jokes, but I know my time is limited, so I won't do that. So you wonder why I show this picture. This shows a car in production. Is this the future? Well, this car has all the ingredients that's going to take us into the future, all the basic systems for making cars self-driving. I like to make a comment to John, though. I think it takes more than updating software to make a car self-driving, and we do update the software in the cars every time the car comes in for service. But okay, that's a side point. So, if you go back 10 years, as I said, I've been with the industry for 30 years. 10 years ago, no one talked about self-driving cars. Well, some people looking into the real long-term future, but we basically didn't think of this as part of the future or the near-term future. But with all the systems that we developed for the last decade, which help cars to keep a distance, to learn what's around the car, to measure the state of the driver, and do a lot of things to help the drivers and take action. We're now into a stage where we can take the next step. We see that these are the building blocks for going for the next step, self-driving cars. We have a lot of systems in production already that helps the drivers to monitor the situation around the car, to assist the driver, and to take action automatically if the driver doesn't pay attention. And there are a number of other systems coming in the near-term future. We're gonna brake for more objects. We're gonna brake in left turn activations. We're gonna keep a distance. We're gonna steer with the car. The car in front of you, and we're gonna have vehicle-to-vehicle or vehicle-to-infrastructure communication. With all these systems, we have what's necessary for making the car self-driving. So if you look at this, what are the opportunities with self-driving cars? Well, there are many things. The more you think about this, the more opportunities you find. Safety-wise, this goes hand in hand with the development. We're getting very close to zero when it comes to accidents and fatalities and serious injuries today. We actually have a vision at Volvo Cars that we're not going to have anyone killed or seriously injured in the new Volvo in the year 2020. And we think we can make it. We're getting very close to it. And I will retire in 2019, by the way. So safety is getting in a place where we can make cars self-driving. And safety will be something where we avoid all the accidents in the near-term future, or mid-term future. Fuel economy. Cars that drive themselves can optimize the driving. They can have a much better flow with traffic than we as human drivers can have. Also, taking away the crashes, we will get no disturbances. So the congestions in traffic from crashes hopefully will go away. And traffic flow, we know if the cars are communicating and self-driving, the cars will be much better in making weaving and other things where you have different junctions in a much traffic flow beneficial way than normal car drivers. We've done studies of this, and we find that in some places where you just have the weaving and people not being very nice to each other, if the cars are doing this, we can improve the traffic flow significantly. We've done studies in Gothenburg. We found that it's up to 30% improvement in some bottlenecks in Gothenburg without doing any infrastructure changes. And we all know infrastructure improvements takes time and huge spending. So we see a lot of benefits for society just by having cars communicating and being self-driving. Improve mobility. In the future, we can have people who can't be mobile today actually being able to be mobile. The blind people, the people who can't take a driver's license. That's going to take time, but we see that coming in the future. Also, infrastructure. Like I said, we can have improvement in traffic flow without spending anything on infrastructure, but we can also do other things with infrastructure for self-driving cars. For instance, these cars can be, if we have special bypasses, for instance, for self-driving cars, these bypasses can be much lighter, don't have any trucks on them, and they can adapt it to the actual number of cars on the bypass. If we centralize some of the cars, we can have things in the roadway, like magnets. Cars can centralize themselves in the lanes. We can make the lanes much more narrow. So instead of having 3 lanes, you can make the 4 lanes without spending anything on the infrastructure. So there are huge savings, and the more you look at this, the more possibilities you find. Comfort. What if you can use the time in the car, preparing the work you're going to do when you get to the office, your social engagements, you can watch television or whatever. Use the time when you're stuck in traffic or just moving with traffic. We think people can be very pleased if they can use this time, because most of us find that this is not very exciting just to move along with traffic. And you still can have the fun of driving when you're in a normal highway where you're still and not stuck in traffic. Urban planning. We're looking at self-parking cars. John was talking about cars, you find a parking spot because you have a system that tells you where the parking spot is. But what if you drive up to your house, your building, you unload your groceries, you ask the car to go park itself? There's going to be a huge benefit for the society and for urban planning. There are a lot of places in Sweden now that talk about densification of the cities. They take some of the parking spots and make them into to put up buildings instead. So where are people going to park? If the cars can go away and park themselves, we can use impediments and the brown fields, they're called, when you can't use for anything else. There's a study on Singapore. If cars were self-parking and autonomous and connected, you can reduce the car fleet of Singapore to 1/3 of what is now today. So from 800,000, you can go to 300,000. And you just think about what that does for the traffic flow. Okay, sorry. Connectivity. Rupert mentioned connectivity. It's very important for the people of the modern people, and these are actually my kids on top right corner. On holiday in Japan. Keeping updated on smartphones is more important than looking at the castles in Japan. So connectivity, we say that young people are more concerned about being connected than driving. So driving is a distraction from being connected. So how can you make mobility and be connected at the same time? That's the challenge. Okay. Well, this is what I want to talk about, actually. The project we have in Gothenburg, Sweden today we started this year, is a project for self-driving cars on public roads with customers. So we have a partnership with 5 partners, 2 government agencies, the City of Gothenburg, Volvo Car Corportaion, and the Science Park. And we're going to have 100 customer cars on public roads in 2017. We actually have a number of cars with Volvo engineers out on public roads already today. We're spending about 50 or 55 million euros on this project, and it's also an automatic parking project as part of this. And this is the route around Gothenburg. This is a 2-lane highway with basically no intersections, or a couple of intersections, but basically a 2-lane highway and no head-on traffic. No pedestrians, no bicyclists. This is the first step. We're going to go for more complicated and complex situations once we've done this first step.
Many people think self-driving cars are science fiction. But the reality is that already today we're testing self-driving cars like the one behind me in real traffic on roads in Gothenburg, Sweden. So right now we're in the prototype vehicle and we're driving in Gothenburg on a typical road that a lot of people use for their daily commuting. And I can show how to activate the system. One simple press on a button and the car will take over the braking, the accelerating, but also the steering. In this case, I still will have to supervise the system because this is an early prototype. But our intention is that in the final product, a driver can actually release the steering wheel without having to supervise, such that he or she can do something else with their time. The car uses radar, camera and LiDAR technology to monitor the actual environment around the car. The sensing has to be so robust that drivers can rely on the car to drive in a safe way. It also uses a map of the roads that we're traveling on. So we use a communication link between the Volvo cloud and this vehicle in order to get the latest map data to this vehicle. We do analysis on traffic safety, and we've done so for many years. And we know from this analysis that almost all collisions that occur are caused by human error. If you would automate driving, you take away the causes of many accidents and you can make traffic safer. It's great to be in Sweden because in Sweden we have a very good cooperation with the road authorities. And this is crucial for bringing self-driving cars to the market. At Volvo Cars, we have the objective in 2017 to actually bring 100 self-driving cars to our customers on real roads here in Gothenburg.
Just this slide, I said there are regulatory hurdles and regulatory obstacles that we encourage to be removed because this development, well, if it could all stifle the development if the regulatory hurdles are not removed. And just my last slide, we believe that this will change so much in the future with self-driving cars that a lot about what you think about the mobility, individual mobility, the boundaries between individual mobility and public transportation will go away. We will think that there's a mixture of cars in traffic in cities, and you won't divide them into public transportation and individual mobility. I think that the boundaries will be almost erased. And this will also have consequences for the insurance industry. We'll probably take away most of the small crashes, which is going to have a huge impact. Also, car ownership will be changed. Probably you have car sharing as one of the features. You order your car, it comes up to your door, you use the car when you want it. And you hand it back and you ask it to go park itself or move to the place where the carpool is. Cooperation is essential. We have to have cooperation between industry and governments to make this happen.
Okay.